Welcome to Eye on Africa. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, the largest party in Tunisia is open to dialogue but calls on the president to hold elections. He's been accused by some of organising a coup after the prime minister was fired and parliament suspended. Also, thousands of youth rally in Meskel Square in Ethiopia's capital, enthusiastically joining an army enlistment event that does not bode well for a government ceasefire in the northern region of Tigray. Meanwhile, Eritrean refugees living there face a backlash. And from rivalry to reconciliation, Ivory Coast's current leader and his predecessor meet for the first time in a tumultuous decade. But first, Tunisia's largest political party has taken a more conciliatory approach to the political crisis triggered by the president's sacking of the prime minister and suspension of parliament. Ennahda had denounced the moves as a coup and urged supporters to take to the streets. But on Tuesday, it changed tack by welcoming dialogue rather than more protests. Delana D'Souza tells us more.
The largest political party in Tunisia says it's ready to talk. After fierce clashes broke out on Monday, which it blames on organized thugs, Ennahda called on its supporters to go home in order to maintain peace. They're now calling on Tunisia's president to hold legislative and presidential elections, adding that any delay would be a pretext to maintain an autocratic regime. On Sunday night, Tunisia's democratic credentials were thrown into doubt after the prime minister was fired and parliament was suspended for a month. While many have celebrated the latest moves from the president, opinion out on the streets is split.
Hopefully everything will go well. I hope the future will be good. The president has taken a good step, a very positive one, and I hope that the future will get better and better.
We're a bit scared of what may happen and the return of the Ben Ali era. Now there's only one power. It's the president who holds the executive and judicial powers.
Tensions have simmered in Tunisia due to high unemployment rates and the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Issues made worse over the past 6 months due to the power struggle between the country's president and parliament.
Well, lawyers for the Nigerian separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu say that they're taking Nigeria and Kenya to court before the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. They're accusing both countries of illegally extraditing Kanu. His trial was adjourned in Abuja on Monday after authorities failed to present him in court. The judge ruled that the prosecution was unable to provide a valid reason as to why. Samuel Okoye tells us more.
The trial of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, is seen as the biggest trial in Nigeria at the moment. The case is important because the Nigerian government is treating Kanu as the #1 enemy of the Nigerian state. Kanu is facing charges bordering on terrorism, treasonable felony, illegal possession of arms, and running an illegal organization. That is IPOB, which the government banned some time ago. Kanu is being seen as a freedom fighter from the perspective of others. Kanu is leading a struggle to get the Igbos out of Nigeria. The Igbos want a separate state, which they want to call Biafra. The Igbos are the third largest ethnic group in Nigeria. The agitation for a separate state dates back to the 1960s. The Igbos, the mainly Christian Igbos, do not want to belong in the same country with the ethnic Fulanis, who are Muslims. The Fulanis have run the country for the better part of its independence, and the Igbos say they have been marginalized so far. The Igbo clamor for a separate nation led to a civil war, which lasted from 1967 to 1970. As at the time this war broke out, in July 1967, Kanu was not even born. The Igbos say conditions since the civil war was fought more than 50 years ago has not changed. They said they are being marginalized, they are denied key government posts, including those in the military, in the police, and they have been denied access to the presidency. Emotions are quite high as Kanu goes on trial. Many say the government is exercising selective justice, putting Kanu on trial for fighting for the rights of his people. They said, in contrast, armed Fulanis have been roaming around the country, kidnapping people, killing people, and government has not arrested any of them. Many say the government should treat Kanu should treat the armed Fulanis the way it is treating Kanu.
Samuel Okoye there for us. Now, about 3,000 young people thronged to an enlistment event in Ethiopia's capital to join the Ethiopian National Defense Force. The government's trying to boost army numbers as fighters in the northern region of Tigray continue to make advances after federal troops pulled out following a unilateral ceasefire at the end of last month. Now, that no longer looks likely to last. Conflict first erupted in Tigray last November, sparking a humanitarian crisis. Eritrean soldiers backed government troops. And now, Eritrean families living in Tigray have faced a backlash. Shirley Sitbin has more.
These refugees have just settled in this new camp because of the war in the Tigray region. But they were already refugees before coming here. Originally from Eritrea, they fled years ago to Tigray to escape oppression. When the war broke out, they were at risk again, caught in the crossfire between Tigray forces on one side and on the other, Ethiopian and Eritrean troops, seen on these images. Being from Eritrea, some residents started seeing them as the enemy.
The adults would still give us water to drink, but young people stopped being kind and peaceful. They would quarrel with us, harm us, and even try to kill refugees.
In recent weeks, several camps were destroyed. The one seen here back in June was attacked 2 weeks ago. Refugees were resettled south of Tigray in the Amara region.
We Eritreans are suffering now. Eritreans are being massacred and killed with stones in Tigray and around Shire. Therefore, I do not believe Tigray is a safe place for us Eritreans anymore.
Refugees now safe have urged to find other Eritreans still at risk in Tigray and bring them to safety. Thousands are reportedly unaccounted for.
Well, Ivory Coast's current leader and his predecessor met for the first time in a decade on Tuesday. The political rivalry between President Alassane Ouattara and ex-President Laurent Gbagbo sparked a post-electoral conflict in the country in 2010. That cost 3,000 lives and sent Gbagbo to the Hague to face crimes against humanity charges before the International Criminal Court. Now, he was eventually acquitted and returned home only last month. Despite their history, Ouattara has welcomed Gbagbo at the presidential palace in a display of reconciliation. Hanan Fejani tells us more.
Display of reconciliation really was actually what it was. Today was really a warm reunion between former rivals Laurent Gbagbo and Alassane Ouattara, who, as you said, had not met each other in person in 10 years. So they did opt to really show how they wanted to move forward by deciding to embrace and not just shake hands and then just smile at the cameras and the many journalists that were there to witness this historic event. So beyond those this gesture of reconciliation, the display of reconciliation, there was also the words that were uttered by both political figures who just insisted on the nature of their relationship, which has always been mainly a friendly and fraternal relationship, despite a conflictual past. They really insisted on the fact of moving forward and just giving the Ivorian people the opportunity to believe in that national reconciliation and to trust that the process is underway.
So it sounds like the day was really very much, on one hand, showing that bygones are bygones. But not everything was kept breezy, because Gbagbo did make some indirect mention of the conflict that's at the root of some of the tensions, the past tensions, apparently, between the two men. Before I come back to you, Hanan, let's just take a listen to what I'm referring to.
There are some who have been in prison since the unrest of 2010 to 2011. Now I am free, but they are still in prison. I would like the president to do everything within his power to free them.
So what do you make of that, Hanan? Could that read as Gbagbo putting a little bit of pushing the boundaries of Ouattara's will for rapprochement there?
There was a sense of course, this needs to happen. This will be pivotal to that process of national reconciliation moving forward. But I'm just giving the president the leeway to do that and on his own terms. Of course, President Alassane Ouattara also explained that this is just the beginning of a long-term process that is just opening at the moment. This symbolic meeting is just the first step for a national dialogue that will include other political actors, and that political prisoners aspect will be essential to these discussions. There probably will be a hiatus in the conversations in the next few weeks, as the president mentioned that the national day of independence in the country will mark sort of a sort of time off from politics. But after that, discussions can resume, and this will definitely be high on the agenda for Laurent Gbagbo, who is, as we heard him just say, has come back to his country as a free man and wants to see people who were part of his camp just also see freedom one day.
Hinan Fejani there for us. And finally, the win of dual French Togolese Olympic medalist Clarisse Agbenienou has been met with joy in both countries. The 5-time world and 4-time European champion has levelled up from her silver in Rio with a gold in judo at the Tokyo Olympics. She's representing France, but her Togolese fans are proud nonetheless.
Extreme happiness and relief. If you remember 4 years ago in Rio, she was defeated in the final, so took home the silver medal. So this feels she's completed her unfinished business. It's a result that should push African countries to invest in sports, because it's a great means of development which people can get excited about.
Well, that's it for Eye on Africa for now. Thanks for joining us, and do so again if you can. Take care.